Can you revive the CPS that they must reach their level? No, they're able to monitor the police because my police are monitor. Banka di chocho, by tulera fela more they're not doing anything. You know, that culture but where the CPF is there, you call monthly meetings, the police come in account, the station commanders are there, your councillors are there to work with the CPF and make sure there's accountability and also there's community participation. You go to other areas, in other areas, so you need that community awareness.
Activism, yeah.
And the meetings are you've got your public meetings, meetings. Let's attend those meetings. Then we'll see a difference. But if you do what's a mark? And other people think, how about we say WhatsApp group they're active?
And how about comment on social media?
Yes, or on Facebook. But that person at time. But the person is not doing anything.
Umsize mina ngidinga umelusi bengicela umsize yeah bangijikela ba ngazi ngenze njani ngazi ngenze njani ngazi ngenze njani bangijikela ba ngazi ngenze njani ngazi ngenze njani
asemthonde njolabi eceleni kwami ikuyibona nje lensizwa singisuke angadlali. Oh, angali, angishubani, angisathembi ngishubani, izitha zami phethe isikali, oh anginaki.
Welcome to the Free Ride podcast. Today, I'm excited. Taking a little time, my goodness, the wealth of knowledge and information that he has, he's going to be sharing with us today on the Free Ride podcast. I'm excited to Bualene and Kipratedi Martin. He's an experienced veteran of the organization. He's wears so many hats. He's worn so many hats in the organization and other structures. So I just want to say thank you very much to everybody who's been liking, sharing, and who has been commenting on our platform. And of course, Rahola, every day there are more people that are subscribing to the channel, and those of you who are appreciating the content and telling me, continue with this thing, and you're loving it, you're loving the guests. So today is no different. Today's guest is a humble man, but he's got so much experience in serving and community work. He's a community builder, and he served in so many structures, and he'll explain all of them in a short while. Prateri, thank you so much for joining us on the Free Ride podcast. I really appreciate you. How have you been?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You take things as they come. Those that you can accomplish, you do.
Yeah.
Saying they're beyond your control, you just leave them to God.
Yeah. It takes wisdom to be like that, ne? Because pele haole yang unkadilo personally, everything in kwatisa.
And you want to make things happen now.
Yeah.
You are very vocal. You want to change things the way Batlankate. But as you grow, you get wisdom or certain things are beyond your control.
True.
And
then, but you growing up, were you militant?
You. When they talk about Sayenyova,
Sayenyova generation.
We're a generation that was brave.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we did, when I sit down and I ask myself, how was it possible that I was given? Remember June 16?
Yeah.
Okay, there was a build-up. Around 75, we know that the drama, people are starting to be consciousness.
Yeah.
Who build up. So I feel 76, I was doing standard 4. We were taken out of class. And then we were marching.
Yes.
You see,
Yeah.
I was 11. So that time you see people being killed.
Yo.
It's the first time you tear gas. You get something that gets into your nose and it blocks you. And we didn't know what to do about it. Never stands unto it. Up until some clever wise and other people started sending messages.
Yeah.
Guys, tear gas in a get water. And then but people were collapsing. And remember Maburu 76, they were using live ammunition. On children who were 11, 12, 15, whatever. No, they were using live ammunition.
Yeah.
What rubber bullets, what bullberries, they came
late.
after.
Yeah.
But because 2016, it was live ammunition.
Lit tear gas.
Tear gas, the sharp.
So when did you they died from that onset? Who were shot or injured?
Yeah, there were the people around that I know that got injured there and
Yeah.
so on. Yes.
Yeah. Yo.
It was horrible.
And then you obviously grow into the 80s, more active. How did you get into activism?
Well, as I said, that 2016 we were on the street.
Yeah.
And then then meetings started to take place. We started participating.
Yeah.
Remember at the end of 76, Azang
Oh.
ne? Then we were given a chance to ringole March
77.
77.
Okay.
Then I moved to standard 5. 77, leaders went out of the country. Most of the young people wanted leadership. So there was leadership vacuum. So 77, when we were doing standard 5, we assumed leadership.
Ha!
Yes.
So young.
Yes.
Yo. And how did it change you, like becoming a leader at such a standard 5 for
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But we managed to lead. And I remember there was a time that our principal would have to some of the leaders mosque. So now I was away. I can feel it mosque. Machita and Jota no leadership is where.
Yo.
And we went to assembly. I was very short.
Yeah.
I don't know, plugging the guy. Kapalama stage. Assembly. Yeah, the teachers are here. I told the principal, no, you are our father. How how? And the parents have given you responsibility of Katavanaba. Where now
Oh, guardian.
you can't do that. I'm saying so, face to face.
Yes.
And then I told the children, hurry the class in up until these guys come back. I'm like, you go and sort it out.
Let's say in a class.
It was a class boycott.
Yo.
It's serious. Everybody was set there.
Yo.
So after a day, they were released. They came back. And the principal knew that he was dealing with leadership.
Yeah.
So that's where I picked up. I could lead.
Yeah.
I could talk to people. I can shake people at that time. So 77, Rapo got the class again. Maburu, but this time will not give you a second chance. We are going to repeat. So 78, we had to repeat the classes.
Yeah.
So during that time, my parents decided to take me to Tabanchu. I stayed with Tabanchu for 2 years. But
oh, problem. Yeah,
So I've got a cousin brother of mine, one of my cannot be alone.
Yeah.
So even today is complaining or no, none is next.
Yeah. Because of you.
Because of you have been a problem.
Yeah. Or not a bad influence. Well, not a bad influence, but not influence.
No. The more cars, I mean, even out of cars, others are 50 something, but we are no pardon fit. Where is this thing? You had this thing, I don't know. Ohono leader at a very young age at 12.
Yeah.
Do you know what you were doing in fit? Just out say, sir. Tamalaka Street.
Yeah.
I didn't take nonsense. Tamalaka is a typical clever Marizulu boy.
Yeah.
Copan's clever Zulu boy.
Both, yeah.
Yeah. Tamalaka boy one, you do it. I'll pay it.
Just
And I tell no, if our room, when about Roma no more, Maushai.
Yeah.
I'm 2 months.
Yeah.
bese umntwana athuma omunye umntwana. Alright.
Yo.
So now it's street ka tsela eo.
Yeah.
So the nice part, I'm militant, I'm powerful because scared. Now go dlajeng
Yeah.
ke sharp. So
You told the lie.
ha re shapile class boycott. Ngisitse bana class bana ba tswile age. Ha ke tla go dlajeng. Tama la emva. Manje uyeleni esikolweni. Betaya malila athatha decision ukuthi no. Angasami la malila.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bazomoshela wena in future. Hayi baba, hey labantu ba powerful abantu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evacuate my chores there and so on.
Yeah.
So after some time, go tlaela ntwe ya di community councillors ba opula tse tsa mo husela.
Oh yeah.
So one of my teachers, Ntate Mashika, ke the old ANC le wa opula di rata o negotiate le maburu.
Oh.
They decided to join community councillors. Their thinking was that they wanted to change apartheid from within.
Oh.
So when Mabur created the structures, but no, we're not going to boycott. We're going to participate, but we want to change it from. So Ntate Mashika came and he became a community councillor at Orlando West.
Before the initial councillors, Tsakoneano.
Yes, no.
Oh, Nelibon.
No. Mamela, councillor the mayor then was Ntate Tebehadi. You remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Because after 1976, the Boers created those councillors to Mamela the Losabato,
Oh.
but using their own Bantustan kind of system. So in the townships,
Yeah.
you had community councillors, and then Komahayeng, you had Bomangope and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
So it was the same system, but at different levels.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So for Kokasi was different than Tukomahai.
Yes, Komahayeng was a Bantustan.
Yes.
And then you get a chief minister there and what. Marmon townships, Soweto, Davidson, and so on. Like Davidson, the mayor there was Tomboy.
Okay.
Yeah, so Soweto had Tebehadi as the mayor,
Yes.
and later there was a Shabalala who came after him,
Yes.
and so on.
Wow,
So about joiner la.
Yeah.
So how joiner? He wanted somebody wakokasi otomutusa because he was from Mfulo,
Yeah.
but he contested for Orlando West.
Oh.
So about somebody who was deputy high or Mutuse the KCC attended. So he befriended my father.
Okay.
So he befriended my father. Bashes about Plomera. So about all that, don't know Rufitle Jama Fitla War no. Mashika, do you know this young man? Alright, this is my child.
Yeah.
I don't know how powerful this young man. Alright. He didn't want to come.
I can't have any time.
Temo Urduan Uchodwa.
Yeah.
Alright. Our boycott, he's one of the senior leaders. Actually, he's the most senior because there were 4 of us.
Yo.
Banyamadida scale. Just Peter Mudise, myself, a girl called Anatsele, and then Hotman, I just forgot his name, but there were 4 of us leaders there. So I was part of that executive in the leaders care. It's a primary school.
Yeah.
So Taman Barai, this man is leadership because Kelara.
Can't believe.
This man was clean amuntum, walk am Roma, Ananga, he's very
Yeah.
respectful.
Ah, so what is?
Tamalim Pizel, can't do but well,
Yeah.
he had to accept or no. Kiabatlanka is Shinarbang Kivai Tamanju. So
Azanga Kenya too, but he was at least understanding.
I don't know how you, but I still have to ask him why he did not
Yeah.
unsharp.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But actually, the good part is that Liana in the olden days,
Yeah.
he was part of the ANC Youth League
Oh.
under Lilian Goy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he understood.
He worked under Lilian Goy under the youth. He was also part of the underground structures of the ANC.
Oh.
When the AIDS was banned in the 60s, so he used to distribute pamphlets, he used to do a lot of underground. And some of the tactics that he used for underground, some of the tactics unrooted and so on. So eventually, when I ended up with underground structures at ANC,
Yeah.
I was far better than other people because the person who taught me how to survive underground
Yeah.
was my father.
Sure. So where were you born and raised? Staying in Motiklu?
No, I was born in Naledi.
Okay.
That's where my mother comes from.
Okay.
And then 65, and then around 1970, my father and my mother stayed together. Panyalaba is everything. Then my father took me from my grandmother's place,
Oh.
and then Orlando
Okay.
West. Yeah, that's where I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Mandela comes from, where I stay straight away from Lilian Roy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then there's Ntatemtswaledi, a few streets away. The Sisulu family, I was very, very close to that family.
Yeah.
They're staying there. So that area, it was a cream.
Rich.
Yeah.
The cream de la cream.
So, because to do usabi powerful if you have interacted with those families.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up for you? Did you enjoy growing up in the heart of apartheid, but among the most powerful black leaders like Bomam Liangoy and so on?
Yeah, well, the good part is that the community in Ratana Kanakui.
Okay.
You a child of the community.
Yeah.
Tamanako next door would help you with anything. How about whatever you go there. Then Christmas you go into any house. Bafuja present, so it was just like that.
Yeah.
So you pass 5 houses, but so there was that community thing. What happened is that because people were quite poor, there was that much love.
Okay.
And because there was oppression, it brought the people together.
There was a common
common peoples, and for example, when I passed my matric and I went to varsity, I was one of the first people in my generation I passed a matric, and I was very young. I was 18 years.
Yeah.
Which then just, I mean, normally at that time, matric, pass about 24, 25, and so on.
Yeah.
So it was since I started school when I was 5. And normally, it was compulsory to start at 7.
Oh.
So my father went there. He convinced the teachers.
Yeah.
Okay, give me paper and a pen.
Yeah.
At 5 years, I could write 1 up to 10, A, B, C, whatever. I could write a few other. Yes.
Yes.
That's what my father taught me, and then I was able to write 1 up to 10 in 5 years. So the principal. I'm told I was not clear, but the teachers were fighting for me. Everyone So when I was very young, so leading good.
Yeah.
So when you talk about bullying,
Yeah.
it's about the way bullying.
Nona leading go to fair.
Why? Kina ban rumanda mo tlaseng kina ke khammetsi kina tshwantse ke late because I was the youngest.
Yeah.
Hotman said shula ke class work. Am se sa tswile ba tlala mo nna mo.
Kwena ba bontsha. Ba kopa moe.
So ntwe ba shapisang is because obviously if you have written something 10 questions, if you get 7, so all of them will get 7 the same way, and the teacher will realize
Bakopa everything got. Yo. All right, so wafeta matriki, where did you move on to?
I passed my matric on Matwaleni, and Matwaleni was very active. Then
Matwaleni, where is that?
It's in Orlando West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got involved there and passed my matric. Then I went to Pitor.
Oh.
TNT.
Yeah. Okay.
So by using TUT, no.
TUT,
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's where I got involved with I met Machitaras. I got involved in the underground structures. Machitana Pusha ANC, but at the same time we also reformed to an Azanian student organization, which is now SASCO. But it started as Azaso.
Azaso?
Yeah. Actually, Machitaba initially it was formed as part of Azanian People's Organization. It was under Black Consciousness.
Okay.
So Machitaba's Panadas, they turned it around, they adopted the Freedom Charter. So some of the people walked out of Azaso, they started Azasim. But Azaso moved.
Azasim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when Azaso started being pro-ANC, this pulled out and then Babuda Azasim.
Oh.
And then Azaso became Sansco. After Sansco, when we met with the white students, it became Sasco.
Sasco.
Yeah, Sasco is a combination. Yeah, Sansco, the black students, No, didn't come. New SAS.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the purpose there was for what? For students?
From
SASCO, yeah.
No, SASCO is there are two tasks. One is to deal with challenging study students.
Okay.
About 20 bursary, there's financial exclusion,
Yeah.
That's one part. But the other part is to mobilize for our liberation.
Okay.
And that's why quite a number of us got involved in underground structure. Say you see who the career, see Mara, you are a nice student who was Huara.
Yeah.
I see what voted.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yes.
I became a commander there, so 19.
No ways.
19 years.
What, the MK? Or
yes.
Or is there another structure below?
No, MK was in charge of us.
Okay.
So the commanders, the other instructions.
Yeah.
And then we got involved in operations.
What?
Yes.
And this is what, pre-94? Yeah.
It was 84.
84.
Yes, 1984.
Jesus. And then the Sayenyova generation, I mean, I think most people don't know the Soweto in the 80s or no Dumayang, like
yeah,
after obviously 1976 leading into the 80s.
Yes.
Already targeted.
No.
Kilo na bari target na go tsela.
In fact, no squala strata. Bona if you go to around Orlando West Matwaleni ya kwali kwanyiwa. How you go into number Moroka police station.
Yeah.
Una liskela ba kipongo da.
Okay.
Komlisela ba tswa mo ne ba ikwala ntwena ba re that road e Chrisani ele.
Yeah.
Police station mo ne ba sa tumela.
Jesus.
Phela the way no ka teng. I was never arrested. The vendors are my police. Next one, cafe. Private cars. No. Huta maburu.
Yeah.
8 cars. 4 cars. 4 cars that other street. Heavily armed. Baba di Veniana. Never shapa di Bama. Never shapa blind. They did not touch her.
And then, so you were arrested. Were you sent to prison?
Yes, several times. Several times, in and out. State of emergency, you detained without trial, you just go and sit there. I've been to jail in and out.
Yeah.
Because of my involvement, I guess we can say the first state guy. Then was chased away.
Yeah.
Kavaya, Kanukena, go Vista, go Soweto. I got arrested again, was chased away.
Jesus.
And then I was nearly killed go Unibu. What happened is that Codesa.
Yeah.
I feel so I was very humble. Hot money like I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Hot money shebe. Hey, what is wrong? What have I done? Hot money shebe impedes. Most student affairs. Yes. Not the Nepe the terrorists and other people who are Baitse Haruto. Phone special branch, you must be arrested, or they get you arrested, whatever.
What?
Are so good a favor one. Wanna do one favor?
Yeah.
Could talk 15 minutes.
Oh, fine.
But now safeguard I'm still going to phone. I'm very can get it to the back. I ran after station in. Somebody more submitted in next of it to appeal.
Yes.
Hagi Canada, training a young Ekuchalam Pego to be. Kie imo
About to leave.
Kikan. Can get the packets like a kicking compartment in. Kie go toilet. Beside that toilet. After about 30 minutes, I could really go come station.
Yeah.
I came out of the toilet. Maburu by the time I was here to phone my police put at one. My police put at one and then phone special branch Maburu. How about on part? Fortunately, 25. I just sang Maburu name. Never matter to Barnal Dim. So I was told, I'm a persona non grata. I want a varsity name Butler because I feel some way I need to.
Or not also what is Sanjay.
No, never say what distribute lore. Mtako a fitla fela hai. So I stayed 2 years ke sa Codesa.
Just as.
Up until Machita Bantipa Barno, Yako Unisa, because Unisa ra correspond. So I then ka 88 ka vaka no register ra ko ntwe ko Unis.
Yeah.
But leteng apa ra we started the branch ntwe.
Yeah.
Yeah, organization. So Machita ba mplela e mfethu teng ai. Fito tswela pele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How different was it to mobilize then than to mobilize about now?
Well, the eras are different. Remember, the advantage was that there was a common cause. People could focus. They understood clearly, what is the problem, because they could see the problem. It's like Maburu, about discriminate, about sharp, about bulaya, about reza.
Yeah.
And those who were joining, they had to focus. They had the love for the organization, and so on. Right now, the talks have come to the organization. Muntu batlang nyongu, batlang wetsang, batlang singer in.
Otla in a disguise of a
comrade. Africa mole mo pele mole ai.
What's he?
Because ana passion into and he's there for the money, for the whatever joy batlang.
Yeah.
But a position, but a power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Comrade Tabombeki spoke about it.
Yeah.
It was Nketen or Zketen or Nketen.
Yeah.
The organization was never about that. Kore, assuming leadership was people appointing you or selecting you to lead, not so much to say Kibatlo leader. No.
I'll make a practical example.
Yeah.
We had one leader, Derek Masuku.
Okay.
He was a chairperson ya Transvaal.
Okay.
Ne?
Yeah.
When the ANC Youth League was formed, Ikhuta from exile, Psycho had to bring in some people, Sansko had to bring some people, because it was into When we met as the National Sansko, we then decided or no, Terki Kena Osuta Bolora Akalo Dula in the first National Executive Committee of ANC Youth League. Because of the quality. I mean, there were people who were senior to him. I mean, we had the president, the NEC, and so on. So Derek was sitting in the NEC as an additional member because he was the chairman of a province. But when we looked at the quality of all the people there, we said, no, Derek must go there. And because understanding we know the quality of the caliber of the cadre. And he never proved us wrong. He worked with Peter Mkaba, he worked with Peter, he was doing wonders.
Yeah.
He did wonders.
Yeah.
So from and if you're going to be a president or SG, now we used to caucus and rule out we think now we are ready. Because we've groomed you.
Yeah.
We say we are ready. There was, for example, Secretary General, you don't take anybody.
Yeah.
I don't give a fela abu fela. SG ha emel abu. He makes sense. If everybody quite the SG must be the last one who quite. Because how quite our last organization?
Just.
You don't throw tantrums as an SG.
Yeah.
Yes.
Emotional intelligence. Lead with discipline, all of that.
And most of the time, when the SG has spoken, nobody speaks after.
Yeah.
I always stop about, but the power that you have and the knowledge and the maturity that you have is what we expect from the SG. The same like a provincial secretary, the same like a regional secretary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you know,
yeah. CEO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody is throwing tantrums. You always look for a solution to the particular problem.
Yeah.
Another
the loudest noise.
Yeah. That's not an SG.
So now, okay, so having moved around from student politics, where then did you move to?
Outside your student politics, one, I'm involved in gospel music. I've been singing since I was...
Oh yes. I did not know Kanti, you've got this gospel background as well.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Well, from a young age, you go dlashing rakereka. Then I'm part of the church.
Yeah.
And Mokereking, I was active in the youth activities and then in the music up until Kibinela different groups.
Yeah.
Both Goskele, Luko SCM Goskele, the multiplication. I end up opening my own group, which has been singing for a long time. Okay, the members have retired, but what happens if and so on?
Yeah.
But currently I'm also assisting Kokere Kenyatta in terms of music. Your praise and worship team, and then also I'm organizing a choir there. So music, gospel, even my wife, I got we met music.
Oh.
So yeah, so that's one thing I've been involved in, and also Tiski, well, I was not a star, but Tiski at okay level, and then I ended up also opening a club here, Polo.
Yeah.
And then it's called Black Poison. Just produced a number of of Sundowns.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of the founders of that team.
Yeah, Black Poison.
Black Poison. I'm the founder. I was a secretary actually.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
I see here in your profile, I mean, you've got a long decorated profile. One of the issues or responsibilities you have, you were a member of the CPF, the provincial board member, and then you were also the chairperson here, Orlando. I mean, for those who don't know, Krotman, CPF plays a very critical role in communities, in dealing with crime, assisting Mapodisa. If there's anything you could say about the CPF, the formation here, I know you are probably one of the founders or the creators or people who were in the forefront. Yeah, CPF for me at the time. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, comrades like what Eric Masuku came with a document around people did not want to work with the police, did not trust the police.
Yeah.
So then came the concept of how about we form a structure which is going to be a link between the community and the police.
Yeah.
In America, they call them community boards.
Oh.
In America.
Yeah.
And then you go England, they have a structure. Say into the plays an oversight role for Maponising and mobilizes the community. If we now feel out Maponis out sharp about they wrongfully arrested, we are able to go put a complaint there.
Oh.
So that's how the CPF was formed. And then now I was recruited by comrades. We see something in you that can add value.
Yeah.
CPF
Yeah.
And I actually dislike police from my background. Yeah. But no, we have to do something different. And obviously I came in, I started Kili Patroller and working at a block. Then comrades then elect up until I ended up being the chair Greater Orlando. And guess what? For about 5 or 6 years, Orlando was the best performing police station in the whole of Gauteng. Yes, we've won a number of awards for that.
So how did it feel like, somebody like Mahata about Tibisa, Mahata Bane Baobata, then having to work and serve the same police years down the line? I mean, it must have been a change of a mindset.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
I remember Koprotia, Hunali a block in what's called security branch. They used to kill, they used to torture, they used to interrogate. It was that section at the back there. How can I from Protea mall?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The court is this side. There's this block.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Those were places of torture. So one it was specifically created
to torture.
Yeah. Yeah, it was only political prisoners who were put there. So in the cells, in the interrogation cells, in the interrogation rooms, in the everything that they want to do to you. So
Grootman, we were busy talking about, I think you were analyzing and giving us info about ndawele ko protea ko ne ba protester, I mean ko ne ba torture batho ko teng. And so and if I think about the history e ntse e tlhalosa no, I'm just thinking gore and like what goes into your mind to reconcile with the very people who oppressed you? How did it happen?
Yeah, well, it was a process. Remember, the difficult years was between 1990 and 93.
Yeah.
Because the apartheid regime was at a corner. So before they killed more for Codesa. Remember, there was a time where Codesa was top and train about I'm struggling.
Okay.
Mabura are Tunya, and they also sent vigilantes and gangsters to hit us.
Yeah.
So we fought back, through your self-defense unit and so on. But the process of negotiations was also taking place. But because we were political leaders at that time, we were invited into the discussions, starting with the Harare Declaration, going there, but we're still angry. Yeah, we said no. If you have to die, you have to die.
Yeah.
But leadership, Mandela and the others sat down with us. To using the public platform to engage us or no, but you do need peace. And they made us aware and understand what is peace.
Okay.
But they also made us aware of what happened to Angola, what happened to Mozambique. Remember there, comrades went there, they killed everything. And when the whites moved out, everything. So even now, Angola and Mozambique have not fully recovered because there was no proper transition.
And there was a civil war.
Yes, and they ended up on
Yeah.
So the drainage facilities, the banka cement, like training, it would block. So the system was poor. That's why quite a number of people from Mozambique and so on, had to go South Africa.
Yeah.
Because then they destroyed the infrastructure and so on. So in between the discussions, leadership was able to convince us, and convince other young people, we are going for the negotiations. And this is what we want. But it was not easy. And also when we were deployed to work, CPF and so on, it was still difficult because who were opposed to us. I was actually arrested in Kundikubul station. I was charged with premeditated murder. Yes, the charges were fabricated and so on. I went in there. Fortunate enough, family they got a very good lawyer. He got a very good advocate.
Yeah.
The advocate winning case is now one of the best judges in South Africa.
And they found or you were not guilty? Yes. It was prefabricated?
No. Cops that are corrupt, they are very good at what they're doing. They are very good.
And it's also difficult for cops to investigate cops who are corrupt. Or they know how to hide it well.
Well, there are two groups inside the police.
Okay.
They are very good police that actually worked with me. They fought they fought and they were assisting me.
While you were a CPF member?
Yes. It's dangerous to be CPF. They can kill you. Because when somebody babamba try shelter the drugs, babamba try the cherry, babamba try promotions, there's a lot of things that the corrupt system works on. It benefits certain people.
Yeah.
So when I would want to say sharp from your talking, your behavior and everything.
Yeah.
But they can.
Yeah.
They can.
But I just want to go back to like the pre-Codesa negotiations.
Yeah.
At the time, comrades were divided.
Yes.
on whether they take peace or they take the armed struggle. Where were you, like in this? Like, which side were you taking?
As much as I was a radical young person,
Yeah.
but fortunately I was part of the leadership that was engaging and listening to leadership and giving reason. But even if you are angry, these are the consequences.
Oh.
You know, we were given a very good political education.
Yeah.
In terms of if you talk about Lunga Sisulu, you talk about Comrade S.J. Lumka, those were communists and no Hotman Kokas, what's a Hotman
Yeah.
guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that helped
Yeah.
because buhlanya bona ya ba bufukutsa.
Yeah.
Bafukutsa. I remember, I mean, that Hotman Codesa Machobo, I was arguing with him, why SACP inform a part of the ANC? Why is it made government? Because these are communists, they don't like God.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiak. Here, no, here's the task capital. Go and read what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went. I don't read. Now it's a session such Sundays in the morning from 9 to 12. A lot of comrades and shopping will be part of it. So I come in there, I make noise again.
Yeah.
Hotman and Kimis, Waras. I don't know, I'm making noise. Firstly, I gave you a book to go and read and understand how well communism so that how to understand what is the alliance between SACP and ANC. Why Bakopani saying?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to talk. Up until we reach. So I was forced to go back and read and understand.
Yeah.
So you're able to reason. You will make sense.
Yeah.
So it has helped even now when I debate anywhere. I must make sure that I make sense. I come across and give you. So that changed the radicalism. You understand the purpose of why we should. But there was a small group. It was not able to convince the rest of the community. But that's what I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Because remember the number and the answer and the capacity would not have toppled apartheid via the armed struggle.
So it was not going to work. They had the SNDF. They had muscle.
They had money and they were supported by Americans and so on. Oh. But remember, the reason why we were fighting was to get courage, and show the enemy that we are not backing down. Yeah. We're able to retaliate, and it was more symbolic, that's our. But so when that opportunity, remember the struggles for 4 pillars. No.
4 pillars.
Yeah, your mass mobilization and so on. So they helped in us fighting the struggle.
The masses, yeah.
The international isolation. For example, apartheid, do you know that the ANC and the PAC at the time had more reps in other countries than apartheid? Because apartheid didn't have an embassy. It was a problem. It was Israel and Germany and other few countries that were openly supporting the apartheid regime. But I like all United Nations who are there. Our comrades were doing wonders. Miriam Makeba gave a very powerful. She was one of the first people to be given a platform. United Nations.
Yes.
And she lambasted the apartheid, and they couldn't defend the apartheid regime. So basically, it was difficult.
It was a combination of things.
Yes, but eventually we had to come to negotiations, and then. Yeah, but it was a huge process.
So how do you, as part of the people who led us during that time, when you hear in Codesa, they no mare, bon Tate Mandela, they sold out Codesa, they took political freedom, or they still no economic freedom in our lifetime. How would you respond to such statements?
Well, for somebody who's in Kotan from Kobona, Aja Peter.
Yeah, I understand.
We bonajwa.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Somebody who has never seen 500 people being killed, so come on. Somebody who has never smelled tear gas, he will not know.
Yeah.
Somebody who has never faced death many times. Somebody who has killed people would not know what it is like.
Yeah.
Because I'll make one example. Having Vista, we were boycotting classes. They decided to partify. I called Maulidi. But I'm not here now. Some months or whatever, there's a family gathering. Another family gathering, bang introduce. But Kimangani Mama. Guess what? Even today, 2020, I didn't party. No, I hit it very hard. And I was well style. So I'm saying we come from that kind of situations where you had to make decisions. You know, use violence, you chase everything. And Maburu had about taught they will kill you or will torture you. So it was not an easy decision. It's not because Ramakwala. Remember Mandela? Mandela, when MK was formed, he was taken outside. He was not supposed to be trained. He took a conscious decision as a trainer, and Gagani and no, I'm going to fight for liberation. You know, Mandela, Tronco, 27 years is sleep up in face. Yeah. Mandela lost a family. He never had a family. If you look at the long walk to freedom, you realize or no, how much did he sacrifice? How much did he lose? Fortunately, I stayed in Orlando West. I know the family as a whole. The family is scattered. They've gone through hell. You know, going and see your father. That's why when Mandela was fighting his children, you're not there. I mean, there was a time I came back late. I don't know you. I've seen you that other side of the glass. But who are you?
You were never home.
Yes.
Oh man.
I needed you to do. You know what's a father? A father, you know when you grow up, your father is your most hero. He's the strongest man. He's everything to you. You only realize how good you are now, but But when you are young, when you are 11, 12 years, the strongest person in the world, your superhero is your father.
True.
So if you don't have a father, you are in trouble. You know?
It's true.
Like Mokasao, how far? Do you know how fit I saw? How fit of I? There's a boy who admires you. How I Arkinasip. So how you behave, Mokas, how you do, it doesn't impact
on the smaller people.
There's one boy. I saw one. And when you eat pizza soup. You have not spoken to that boy. No, you in the way Uvanka thing.
It's true.
Hey,
the impact.
Yes. So it is important as fathers I'll make a practical example. I served in the CPF. No leaders can file a moon. This young man, hey, he took out his money, 20 rands.
Yeah.
I don't know this boy. And got 20 rands. I don't know. Okay, I might buy anything. If I had money, I would give you. I don't know this boy. I don't know what he did in his life, but him seeing because there was a time ke ile ka tswa out of Soweto ka lo hlala ko Valley. So I saw this part. No. Ne re ploma kaofela ko Mzimhlophe la va Machita, you know, and so on. Because what I would normally do, Machita re plome me. More guys, I would engage them in various topics. Music, sports, politics. Yes, just engage them about life, give them life skills. Yeah. So I had an impact on that young man.
Yeah.
But he did not tell me, King Eshabeki in Samotulo Bahai.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, it's what Mandela and that Mlangin lost. You know, when you look at those Mataimak Offer, if you look at them here, yeah, they had things here. It's because of the stones. Remember, part of Robben Island was built by them, for them. That's so Matamale and I remember for a long time. Keep telling me about it. Never shapaka di short pay. Mahua, Limakul. They were giving, Bokatrada were giving
long pants
because of Babatalta creation activism. So I'm saying that person for almost, because Robben Island by 15 years or so. Because the other years, but let's go into Portsmouth and so on. But for the better part, go Robben Island, they must shop every day. They were in the quarry. That's why anybody who Bashabele long to freedom, and then Bashabele that part of the quarry. When they go to the quarry, because Mandela fought for about 20 shortly the long pen. He fought for about 20 goals, which was a huge struggle, and he managed to fight there. So I'm saying, for those who have never sacrificed, for those who have never faced death, you can't come and tell me when I faced death many times. There was a time we nearly killed.
So if you don't understand the struggle, you can't judge it. You can't judge those who came before us. So say you also understand the level of pain that they've gone through. Fortunately, we've got wives that were with us from the struggle. But if that's why most of the comrades, they don't have lasting relationships, they don't have good relationships. Literally now, their lives are a mess. Because going and face death and going and ushapabatu, ulimatabatu, chesa with them. God is created. Look, my parents are God-fearing people, and so on. It was not my plan to go chesa, senior, it was not part of me. What I'm saying, I was not a struggling student. I was an 8 student. For example, when I was doing standard 8, there were 3 of us. We were doing standard 8. We were part of the debating team scale, and nearly into grade 12 in a debate. But the 3 of us, myself, Desmond Banga, and the Sijani, and another girl, Priscilla, we were promoted from standard 8 Ravaya, Rano debater for scale. That's how brilliant we were. So we did not struggle. It was not like, for funny fellas, no, it's not a good thing. Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
And there was no counseling, psychological assistance to...
It's not 100%. By ends, I mean, remember, there were various cleansing ceremonies. I remember Tokyo Swali, Jablani called comrades Abiza, Kalaso, Baroba Slapisa, or Baban. Some went, some didn't go.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the army and other areas, there are those counseling sessions and so on. But it did not touch everybody, not everybody went there.
Yeah.
But they are not 100% cure to what we've seen. If you've seen somebody die, if you've seen, I mean, there was an incident, the vigilantes, that comes in there. Taxi, high taxi, by taxi. These people came out of the taxi, they shot 8 people. And Ronara Kaula da. So remote self-defense unit. Hara Kaula, Hulakan, Raamara Islamu, Darfitamul. All the brains were scattered all over because Bashalia from passengers, but Kalika driver. Shababa 28. When you came back, you can't eat.
Jesus.
You can't eat. How banana, my friend? Ne, wahlata.
Ah.
How banana, wahlata? Because you see those brains scattered and so on. So, war is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It scars you for life. So, kiri scars you for life. When I say nakongu, no buwan mutu na no kwata fe. And you go into a rage. You see?
Yeah.
Because you are a trained machine, a killer machine.
Jesus.
So you are a danger to yourself, you are a danger to your wife, to your children, you are a danger to the community.
Yo. And Rona, we don't, as people who have not gone through, we don't know and we don't understand the extent of the damage that you guys have gone through. Jesus. So, where to now? Where to now? I mean, right now I see you are quite involved in NAFCOC. Is it NAFCOC? When you were involved,
yes. Yeah.
How were you involved, Kara?
I was recruited by comrades who were in NAFCOC doing business. What they wanted from me was leadership skills, access to other people, the ability to network, train and capacity. Remember, I'm a trained community development worker.
Yes.
So that skill, Hutusa small businesses to grow, to develop. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm making sure through NAFCOC we have what is called economic emancipation. Because yes, we've got the right to vote and so on. Mara, there's a lot of things that we can't say or do because we lack capacity and so on. I'll make an example. Key Preventing Celtics, a very good club. It has gone down.
Yes.
Huh? And the people bako Free State bankile rato la bona but Kenya ku prevent Celtics. You know, for nights a black pride who wanted to prevent Celtics. Even the same thing has now happened to Free State Stars.
Yeah.
Bafana ba le ba ipaisitse but ba no are told support to Mokasi, are told the sponsor. Free State Stars has died. It has produced how many players go Bafana. And then we wonder or no, why Bafana is not performing? Because the resources are not there. So the bottom line is that soccer has been one of the good things that has happened to a black person.
Yeah.
But because we lack resources, we're not able to push it. So through NAFCOC, we want to see good things happen because we'll not be able to better poverty and all these other challenges if it's not you. And nobody's going to come and give us that money. We have to create opportunities for our people and say, Buffett, yes, we've been able to vote. And then what?
Are you getting support though as NAFCOC?
It's a tough struggle, but at least some of the government departments have opened doors. We've signed MOUs with them.
Okay.
And then we are pushing. But there's a resistance from some of the officials.
Yeah.
We probably don't know. But New Essential is sponsoring business people and small business people and Africans especially. It's not your money. Why are you delaying in dishing out money? But the money is one for the startups, for support about that. The money is surrounding. Yeah, circulator. So what are they getting good salaries and so on? But they're not coming to the board. But what is good is that your political heads, they agree with us. The MECs, the ministers, and so on, the MMCs, they agree, the mayors and so on. But the challenge is that you get to your middle management.
Yeah.
That's where you get much resistance. And that's the problem right now in South Africa, that when we took over, we occupied high offices and we forgot to know in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's where we get stuck. That's why our policies are good. If you want any document on anything, South Africa has got the best documents, starting the constitution. But the party will implement and make sure that things happen. That's where we're sitting with a problem.
So the problem is in the middle management?
Yes. No, those people...
Are they not people that are deployed by ourselves? Or some of them are not deployed?
No, they're not. Remember the Sunset Clause,
Okay.
Yeah, we said when we agreed, because the maturity system, we don't know. How do we go? We collapse the system. So we said, no, let's work together. We went in Khanyani, government national unity, and so on. So the problem, some of the people who were trained by apartheid, they're still in the system. And they are the PS people. Even Mamponi said, Aaron. I mean, even the current national commissioner was trained by apartheid cops. So he doesn't understand how to deal with crime here 2022. He can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. National commission.
How about the
No, he was trained
protesting? Yeah, Bapal.
Look, the way riot squad in Rishapakati in the 70s and the 80s, those cops are still the same cops, but how do you protest? Because if Maponisa Nashalifile Ali Sharp, Ali Train Sharp, would not have Margana, would not have all these other massacres that are happening where the police are not, because simple. How can I go police station? How about Hunali protest? How can R5?
It means you're going to kill.
Yes, R5 is meant to kill. Because R5, it's how Hunali armed robbery. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a kill or be killed. Ne?
True.
How Hunali hijacking? Or how it's a roadblock? And I think the rifle can fail. Let's say Banga 4 or 5. In a case whereby I let a roadblock, who nearly much it doesn't go heisting or a how about 2 years somebody must be able to retaliate? But normally on a roadblock, my police are a sort of pistol because you can control and command the pistol. But R5, you just call me R5.
Yeah.
So the training is still the same. Training Aaron, still the same. So that's why really confusion. I mean, our minister went to Codesa, he spoke, he promised people, he's running around promising people. Are you a minister or constable?
Yes.
What are you? A minister must sit, make policies. How about no Cape Town, Hunali gangsterism? You must bring experts. Ne? Or no Buffett. Gangsterism is kakadwa.
Yeah.
Because in the social fact, in the criminal fact, in the economic fact, it has got layers. So how do you break down those things? Ukalapeli karintwana se hlala mokasi. I didn't value Lalapol. Dwana say it's now my time because in the Cape, most of Buntate Bako Tronco, there are no positive role models.
True.
So Loka Kenya Masola patrol. But this boy wants a role model. But I'll tamale this one and then.
Wants a father figure.
So how can you you can't destroy gangsterism Kamasol. No, you can't. Because gangsters is a hala where there is no social impact, where there is no social cohesion. That's why I'm not saying gangsters super run because we don't have father figures. Matama Ronadula Anuel or Rabako Tronco or Bapisa and Twin.
You were also involved in that organization, King Sanka,
yes,
dealing with helping young people, violent drug abuse. How bad is the situation, Mokas?
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. Some of the people, my nephews, my niece, are going through hell. I had to step in and deal with those situations. So remember the drugs, they affect the social part of our. And all those things. So we're running short. So drug is fast money. It's fun for them. They're experimenting and they think they're smart and so on. And sadly is that you ask yourself that you sacrifice so much for the struggle. If you really no, what is going to be left of the country?
What is the
yes, they're going to come in and rule. Or Mabura and come in and rule us again. because we don't have young people that are focused, that want to do something about their lives.
What must be done ka drug issues, Modikas?
Well, a number of things needs to happen. We need to recruit and train Maponesa understanding what is social crime prevention.
Social crime prevention.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you come with programs that are going to take our young people away from the drugs. You know, your sports, your music, your what. Go to any other country. We're not really nako. 2 o'clock is kelesiazo. 6 o'clock muntu. Those hours are the most dangerous. And we're not using them for anything. If you go to Kulingamling, Baba Nkadi after classes, or sometimes Baba Isakaka because a young person wants to be active. He's got a lot of energy. So we need to channel that energy. We need to support our children. Via ground. Our parents don't know they don't support. You know, it's only few areas that no, like that there's a tradition airport. You find on a Saturday, money there over you. But I'm going to buy that ground down. Okay, see that and
but encourage.
Yeah, that's why we're able to produce boys like Bofigo, Bobamang, who are playing for society, because Mzimhlophe is one of the few areas it's a culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just support you.
I know. Anytime we feel machita, it's how we grew up, and that thing is still on. So it really helps we support our children, and we have proper community structures. Your sanko, your whatever, and structures those things help, or you're a Muslim or with any part, you need to have community structures. Because in a case of the parent is not there. At least the coach will be the role model, or the role model, or choir master role model, and so on. So we need to close those gaps so that we go. And make sure that our CPFs are very strong. There was a time the CPFs were very strong. Can you revive the CPFs that they must reach the level? They're able to monitor the police. Because my police are monitor. Banka di chocho, by Tulera, Fela, they're not doing anything. You know, that culture, but where the CPF is there, you call monthly meetings, the police come in account, the station commanders are there, your councillors are there to work with the CPF and make sure there's accountability, and also there's community participation. You go to other areas, in other areas, so you need that community awareness.
Activism, yeah.
And the meetings are you've got your public meetings, meetings. Let's attend those meetings. Then we'll see a difference. But if you do the fair, what's a mark? And other people think, how about we say a WhatsApp group with they're active?
And or have a comment on social media by
yes, or on Facebook, but that person a time. But the person is not doing anything. And someone will say, and try you did you apply your mind? I mean, there's this rumor, 2 rumors, they don't know, they're flying on social media. The first one, our president in the police reservist in the 70s. But no, Ramaphosa started being active in 1991. Iba Secretary General ANC.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay. Wasiba school is Karundwan. Astraf. Why Tava Teflo Poruno, Njito, Kuteflo Punali active, was even arrested for being active here. The other, Tabakav.
Yeah.
Till you know, Ntako Kajile NUM, 1982. Are you aware of how no Formula and UDF you participated? How no Formula Kosatuka 85? He was one of the leading people there. That's why when Mandela was to be released, he was given the task. Receiver Mandela, coordinator, all the things. That's why Mandela, when he gave his first speech, I would take your name Mopila. So how do you know Mtakwana from nowhere? Something's not right here with our people.
Yeah.
Two, there's a rumor if I don't know, but Mandela took 85. But Mandela took Zimbabwe, maybe some of my I'll tell you, whatever trainer, yeah, Tabarno. Still of it. Mandela, none of them side. Lauka fortune one, now Robert inside what's your one no. I'll take a Robert Yesa.
Yeah.
Two, Unalebana, cousins, they know their father. How he speaks, how he does anything. Three, Unali family could come. Not all I could come inside the Christmas party there. So if I would tell any faker, they could have picked it up. 4, Mandela reached Goland West. Before I could pick up, high. And what he did, when he arrived, he said, the football of Melon. I checked the neighbors high, and after that,
Yeah.
oh, come up. That's ban what I was really that. At when I walk ban when I didn't see Ponja. Okay.
Yeah.
When Tanaban that time, that's Malumaku Jan. But the time I had a history of blockading of village, he knew each and every family, and he visited them one by one. The concept of a door-to-door was actually Ikadileda.
Revival again.
Yeah, good concept of door-to-door. Machita by pick up later. Because Nangal podcast are right. So one of Melon.
Yeah.
He went to every house.
And there's no way if he was fake, not Hopola, all those
No, he
things.
wouldn't. Look, before Atolakar, Matamale Amok Castle, Kibon and driver. They were using their own cars. Now, so if Tamala opposite, you value the lingo and what, but there are other things that are going to be picked up. Now I grew up in Orlando West. I'm not staying far from Mandela. I was Mandela as I was the chair and today youth in Orlando West. So we frequented the place. The old man knew people by name, and he had a very brilliant memory. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've read and heard. He was very good with names.
Yes.
Yeah.
How to get block high? He rounded it and himself. And after Mula just that one ban, but I about face oh, when I'm done about does Malmarco, oh, I whoop. He had a good memory and he never forgot people. Yeah.
I wanted to also just, on the last point, there was a discussion that we briefly spoke about, Jorge. You've read the book called The Super Afrikaner.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to hear your views about it, Jorge. Looking at Ronais Botaki now, Lemaburu, how a small population, Afrikaner community, could have protected itself 27 years after 1994. They still own the economy. They have an AfriForum. They have a Freedom Front Plus that represents them in Parliament and so on. What did you make of the book when you went through it?
The book was given by one comrade, it opened my eyes. One, what is the importance of unity? What is the importance of having a focus? What is it that we want? The mistake is I hate when we voted in 94, we did not look at economic emancipation. I remember when Cyril was deployed go businessing, Buntate Kanyile, Hababula Tebe investment. We never took them serious. I think maybe mindset around us because we're orientated around socialism or not, the government will do everything for us. And then I'm saying that if you read that book, those people, they were poor, they put money together, but no, it grew this thing and they opened channels up until they managed to open Santam Bank, up until they have APSA, and they have all the structures. They had corporations, the yellow land. because they were working together. And Mori Chopunzedi, they would say, no, how can it? How can Ngamla? How can another Africa? When you work, they train, they block.
Oh.
Yes, they blocked certain jobs. In terms of scale, vets, you know it's racist. It produces more whites than anything else. It was created for whites. But Takiba didn't think that they just but let's also dire and malice compliance of what South Africa is all about. But they were smart. They went and they opened Rao. They went, they opened Stellenbosch, they opened all these universities were created to accommodate
themselves,
the Afrikaner intellectuals. And how about what else? When Stellenbosch, you will produce doctors. Rao, you produce lawyers and what. They're the focus to produce what they wanted and they put in the market and by Kopanza. So,
just us.
Rona, what we did. Because of excitement, okay, Vista was an apartheid structure, but I'm saying we should have turned Vista into township centers of excellence. Fort Hare, how do you live Fort Hare? Fort Hare has got a history, project Mugabe, project Mandela, Mama. Once we got freedom, we should have taken the best of intellectuals and managers and say, please take care of Fort Hare. Fort Hare has done a lot for us. Then, Fort Hare is the worst performing university. You cry, Raymond. Do they understand? You know, when you read the book, Dr. Z.K. Matthews,
okay,
autobiography, go and read it. It will tell you how Fort Hare was established, what effort did they put on. No, I don't think about Takibaro. It started as a college. It became a university, and it was producing the correct people. So if we want to go far, we are supposed to have centers of excellence academically run by us. We should stop complaining and moaning that we're not going anywhere. We are the architect of our own destruction. I mean, if you go to UJ Soweto, you know, if we talk about, you'll see or not, but this is window dressing.
Yeah.
Because you ask yourself, okay, what is UJ doing for Soweto? Because they should have a research unit, which when you've got ideas, you come to UJ Soweto, you develop. I mean, there are a lot of people who've got ideas. So UJ should be using Soweto as a way of developing or no. Soweto deserves to be a city.
True.
But it cannot reach that level. Because Rao is UJ Soweto is a satellite of Rao.
And Soweto could have been like a country on its own. Lesotho, Botswana, with an even lesser population size.
I'm saying the brains that we have, the talent that we have in Soweto, it's possible for Soweto to run optimally.
On its own.
And it deserves a university. Yeah, more Soweto, University of Soweto, inside.
So the Afrikaners, it was what made them strong, or what makes them strong, it's their unity and their common purpose.
Yeah, and focus.
Yeah.
Those guys, when they met, they would pray for unity and they would work hard. And now what is that they want to achieve? They've achieved a lot through the poor bond. But unfortunately, into a guiding problem, they became arrogant, and then they caused their own downfall. Because once Bali sharp, they should not have done what Hitler did. He became powerful. Hafeza, Abanyata, the other people.
The Jews.
Then how oppressed? You are creating a problem for yourself. You are creating an enemy for yourself. So what you should have done is said, no, and then how do we co-opt these other people to cooperate? That's how other nations in all over the world where they dominate. they make sure that they create peace surrounding them, but it's still leading.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What other lessons can we learn from the Afrikaners?
Unity and peoples. If vulnerable and focus and say this is what we want to achieve. You know, it's not rocket science. I mean, that's why I make an example of soccer. Soccer is really from nowhere, but we managed to have a professional soccer league. Even during the time of apartheid, we produced more Isinchweleni, we produced more Chomoson and so on. It's not like we're stupid. If we focus, I mean, politically, yes, we've produced more Mandela, more Mama. They're sent of excellence that we are saying that if we are focused, we can be able to produce. Even academically, I mean, there was a problem going to university and so on, but we forced oratory degrees, and it was not easy, you know, coming from a background. But I'm saying that there is that capacity. Just focus on high sharp.
Yeah.
And we've grown to be very selfish.
Did we become arrogant?
Over. When I motivate our people, yeah, you've done a lot.
We learn it out.
Yeah. Because I don't the problem. I mean, anybody who chases on the problem,
yeah,
we don't trust. Now we look, the African tradition carry,
yeah,
but you're not preserving it. I mean, the same thing. The law is a rite of passage to a man, but we're messing it up. We've commercialized it.
Yeah.
So illegal schools. Utola ntwana ina le mo 18. Uisa bana ko lebollo. Ke ngwana motho. I mean, in the olden days, lebollo, the king or the chief, ke na bua rona ba fethu ke na kwa lebollo. And who knows amaka generation. Normally, if ngwana wa khosi he's about 16,
yeah,
up until 18, and then the detachment high, and the bali nka balisa ko khosi, all family. Then my time about nganda bayada. There were not so many deaths because there was order, and the muntu o lisanga, arobali basadi. Nada will cut it. Matamana Basia Bana, so Bata Basadi, Banu, Joala, Africa Matabana, Bakaya Bana, wrong information, and part of the Kexterism Eritolang, your orange farm, your valley, and the other areas still of Nadi Kexters. They emanate from the initiation schools. Valley doesn't look at a shopping center.
Yeah,
it's already palm. Barkima wrong tail. I'll talk up about it. Danny Shapa Pangal. They are experts. Good but train of Blava to fail about for fun. I don't maybe not anything like in a terrafe. And they've got a rivalry amongst themselves. No group so. And West part they've taken after American symbols. Baba pizza Americans, Baba pizza in how about the Americans, but again to America in and all that.
Yeah.
And then they are against that. And I talk about 16, 17, 18, and Donna Disabata school. And I said, Sal Bullo. I wish I was scared about Cochisa Babanco School, Baba Foster, no, Vanglil Bullo. About the toilet, Baba Patalis, no. They can't share the same toilet, the Fanabasabulla.
This is still happening, no?
Now, 2022. There's a team next Panalion, CDBM Community Safety Forum. We were battling with gangsters in that on a serious note. Piccolo Nalo during the day fell out and it's all black children. It's all African black children. So it's important that we actually focus and say, what is it that we want to see our children? Baba Yona, because at my age, I'm waiting. I got my second cancer.
Oh yes, congratulations! By the way, yeah. Go Facebook. Grandparents.
So I was celebrating like nothing. But I'm looking to us a legacy. But what have I left behind? What impact
Have you made?
have I made? You know, that's why I'm saying I'm still happy with God, or like a viable. You know, people mustn't recognize and they call me. You know, when I go to the police station, the police ban saluta. But you're a great chairman. You will remain a chair for us for life.
Just your last message, Grootmane, for like what should the country be doing right now to really like, what do we need? Like, what does the movement need? What type of leadership does the ANC need to lead this country?
I hear people talk about renewal.
Yeah.
But we need to do an introspection.
Yeah.
No. I hear people singing Kabo Adiwele. I ask them, guys, what is this thing?
Yeah.
I know it's a song, Yamapiano.
Yeah.
But what is the context? What is the connection? Because when we're singing freedom songs, Harry being AK-76.
Oh.
AK-85, what was happening?
Yes. Yes.
It was composed Kumidolens. And in any context,
Oh.
So I'm saying that we need a deeper understanding of what are we saying. What is the vision of Adwell? What is the vision of this groupings that are coming through to take the movement forward? I'm afraid or no, we're not giving ourselves time. But the biggest problem is that political education and look, you can't win any battle if was not education because that's why in the ANC or in the army, before you are given an AK-47, you were taken through a political class, because the solele sakhabla is dangerous, because he'll shoot anything that comes. That's why in the unit of the ANC there's a commander and a commissar. When the commander gives instruction and that instruction is wrong, the person who comes into the picture is the commissar, because he has to give context and say, if we kill Sip, will it benefit the struggle or not? That's why in every unit and the commissars were very important to be able to give direction and make sure we have what is called emotional intelligence. So now, once UNSA political education out of the movement and out of the country, you then have people who are howling, people who are taking emotional decisions, and at the end of the day, the movement will die. And we're on the verge. My last comment is that December is a deciding factor. If you don't fix the mask at December, bye-bye 2024.
Just like that?
We're on the brink. Conference at December is a decider. We come with wrong decisions or refer to 3 days series at the credentials. That's rubbish. It is waste.
Or who electiwa khosna the commission khosa resolve you.
Look, in these conferences, I know Gauteng, Northwest, and even Natal. The organizational report is either Yabadi, after 2 minutes, they are adopting.
I debate you, I discuss you, I report.
Because in the olden days, the elections were done on the last day of the conference. In the olden days. Do you know? Opening, welcome, credentials, and then while Susani who present. Because a good organizational report tells you, this executive in again. So that then you are able to ascertain whether you return them or you don't return them. But now, if who present your documents, but we bashapa matso, that's more again.
Yeah.
This is a political revolutionary organization we must discuss.
Especially when you know that there were wrongs in that particular region or province.
Even the rights. What I'm saying is that, hey, I don't assess or no, king a good, king a bad.
Yeah.
So that How to map out, that's why everything. And then once we've got a shape for the next 5 years, this is what we want to do. We fix or we then say who is the best person to lead us.
Yeah.
But now, if Ukenya leadership report it's even worse now. Thank
you. Khatilwe, the chairperson, Ubaga province having.
No, I'm saying in Gauteng and Twena, but you top 6.
Oh yeah.
After top 6, so do 2 weeks. Kona khulo khetwang additional members for discuss.
So you don't map out where you wanna go and say who are the best people to lead us first.
It's supposed to be like that. But look at look at the way they treated the KZN chairperson. The conference, it gives you power to elect that person or not elect. So why do you insult him? Because you are going to have a right to vote and decide whether you want him or not. But the person is chairing the meeting. 2, after conference, he goes and attends a meeting public. Then he decides to resign as the premier. MEC. Do you have an organization? We don't.
It's worrying.
Because somebody has to explain or no. Process A. Because if you are a premier, you are the leader, the number 1 citizen in the province. So that's how jump when I following day usually MEC. Because I would have expected or no, if ever they want to deploy him nationally. So that you get new challenges, new people. But you can't have a situation where you are leading the province and then you are reduced to something else. Others will think that the chair is humble. And I'm saying no. If you are responsible enough, you should not have allowed to be an MEC. Can't. Because as a premier, people share your vision.
True.
So how MEC you know? Inclusive vision, how vision I understand it. I don't know. But I'm saying December is a decider. We don't get our things right in December. I'm telling you, 2024, we must clean up the opposition benches, or either this organization,
Does it hurt you?
Hate is actually a simple word. Remember, Sipo, I've faced death many times. I've been in detention. There was a time I could not see my family. You know when I went, I needed 3 minutes to be inside the house. My mother would cry, what. My mother would go into a bedroom, take out money, give me money, tell me I love you. I would go out of the back door. Kinali fancy da. Haki kuchaka back door, kinali fancy da. Haki champela the next street. Special branches facility. Somebody has already called the special branch. Hey, this man is around. I have to run, hide the next street. Then from there, get into a train and go missing. There was a time I could not speak to my family because the special branch assaulted my mother. My father was angry with me. My father fought with me. 2, when the Boers came there, Bantol, they found my younger brother, MZ. He had written some poems. He did not understand. He was young. He was moved. He was assaulted. I was heavily assaulted.
Jesus.
So there was a time Maburu hana batla. My father ended up not locking the doors. Haba kena ma akriba patlato rakha mnyango. Aba ba rakha mnyango ipulegela ba raro. Ukom magele litu. That was virgil kom no endali so. I saw two set about really kill ka le roba mnyango. You know, so it's the pain that you've gone through. You know, you're not eating the right food. You know, you're seeing a lot of things happening. You see people being killed as well. Now the question is it worth it? If we lose, what is it? So I want to tell those comrades that are corrupt, that are doing wrong things. You are killing the movement, you are killing the legacy of Mandela, you are killing what Oliver Tambo taught us. We are afraid to wear ANC t-shirt on most strategy because but barwaka. It takes an effort for you who keep us a movement. And we used to wear that thing with pride. People used to come to our houses, but about the t-shirt. Nobody comes to us with one t-shirt. It's because of the corruption and the wrong things that have been done. And it's possible to change. It's possible. Congress must go into a meeting, into a conference. Let's choose the right leaders. Let's focus. We know what we want. It's clear. The Freedom Charter is very clear. I changed it. Documented in 1955. It's clear what is expected. The constitution of the country.
It's clear.
It's clear. Your strategy and tactic, very clear. We've got very good documents, you know.
And a think tank. You
get into a young man like Sputnik. He came to the ANC conference. He delivered a very powerful paper. You know what people did? Why are we singing so much for the good conference? Guys, I see the conference is supposed to sit and analyze and come with the brains. When we grew up, good conferencing, it was robust discussions. Would engage. Even after the sessions, when you would sit and engage and talk about it. That's why when there was a conference, you'd get into discussion documents. People are writing. Up until we come to a resolution and say this is where we want to go. Guys, this is not a church.
La computer, I believe.
Kapina.
Baba, we ba compose a pina on the spot.
And the peanuts are run. I said some Zabadas.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, telling the Arwaka, they literally, I remember in Prefontaine, they were singing one song, Ukuleta about someone to bar, What's Am I? And it was directed to a senior comrade or no, What's Am I? What is that? Konatali, they were singing Agahambe, whatever, and all that. What is that? What is that? Because how is Sishe Magahambe? You go back and make him an MEC again. Why should the last question I'm asking myself, or I'm asking comrades, why should the community or the country take us serious when now we can't take ourselves serious first? That's my last statement. Why?
But man, you know, this was overdue between you and me. And I knew emotionally I had to prepare.
Yeah.
Because I understood you've come far at this organization, your deep love for it is deep. You and I have had brief discussions, Cody funeralling here and there. And I knew you have a deep love for this organization. And what's happening at the moment, it's like it's killing you inside. And you are one of others who are now afraid, you know, ube proud to come because you know it's lost its way along the way. It's attracted by Abasha for Mokhatlo, and they are on a mission to destroy it. And you've opened up. You know, not many will open up about their deep love for this movement, and not many will speak out and say lots are wrongly wrong. Ba baya ba didimetse ba fele ba be di voting khatlele aba kaiwa nyogo ba matha go te di taxi di teng ba palama, but ba bona hore the thing is wrong. It's not what they grew up with as the ANC. Mare ba didimetse fela ba fele ba be the recipients tsa nyogo ba tholang or for whatever that they are getting. But when you spoke out, so I appreciate you for your time, Khotman, and continue go ba that light le mo ka sia hao ke plome le Khotman ra ke kopana le bone ba ringa ba ra skarchana ga te ko ba bua ntho tse nice ka wena nje, you know, and I'm like okay, so time is so reputation is grand, and you are correct, or o ka se be staff la ko strateng le kontlong tshwantse be ntato tlhompegang wa lapa. And clearly you are that man, you know, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate Khano bua ka bal time, or what kind of a father should we be for the Musaron, you know, for the Musiko Castaron, or Habarisheva so, but no man, hey, I can identify el tamalele because of the way I've angating, the way it's ringating. So I really appreciate that, and thanks for sharing the pearls of knowledge, you know. I really appreciate Nakon Kailenyone. And it's been amazing. I've learned a lot, and I will come get anya via Khotman. Arplome via round 2. Let's take me through another journey, you know. And I'm sure there's a lot of wealth of knowledge along you can still impart, you know. So this is it, man. I know it's an hour 30 minutes long or so of chatting. Le Khotman le leng I've got so much respect and love for who he is as a person, and for his contribution in our movement and the contribution in our country. And I think many times I honor the people while they are still alive and give them flowers while they can still smell them. Now I truly appreciate Khotman by Longkhore. They came before us and they served this movement, served our country, and today's show was truly about that. So thank you very much for watching. Keep sharing and keep loving this country. We out. Boom.